Western countries, including the United States, catches up to where Italy is right now.
So I'm seeing many cities being in lockdown in China. The whole country of Italy is in lockdown. Can we expect that cities in the United States to be in lockdown at some point?
I don't think the U.S. can do exactly the same thing in terms of closing our borders that Italy and Israel and other countries are doing. It's just the epidemic doesn't matter what the borders are anymore. It is already inside of this country. It is spreading, and the doubling time of this virus is anywhere from 6 to 7 days. So given that we already have 10,000 cases, closing the border makes almost no difference anymore.
So the fact that we're not testing as many people as other countries, does that mean that the numbers that we are getting are not real?
The numbers are real. They're just very far behind. It's just we're capturing right now the cases that have become so extreme and that they need hospitalization that finally they get tested with a limited capacity. We are probably about 3 or 4 weeks behind in terms of actual testing. And in that kind of epidemic, remember, there's a doubling time of 1 week. 3 or 4 weeks behind means the virus has already spread probably 4 or 8 or 16-fold higher than had we caught it earlier.
You're an expert in public health. I'm assuming that undocumented immigrants are facing a harder time being tested, and you know, I can see why. They might be thinking, well, if I go and test myself and I'm positive and I'm contagious and I got the coronavirus, I might not only lose my job, but I might be deported. Are they right?
I think undocumented immigrants, as well as any low-wage workers, have concerns about testing, because even if you are not deported, which is a real concern, as you know, in this administration, even if you're not deported, you will lose half a month's wages, because if you test positive, quarantine, 14 days, no work, and most of these low-income workers do not have paid sick leave and do not have the luxury of work from home that all these tech companies like Facebook, Microsoft, or Twitter are offering. They are basically, if you don't go to work, you lose your job or you don't get paid for half a month and your family suffers. That's why there's a huge incentive in the United States, A, to get tested, pay for that test, as well as lose that income for half a month.
A CPAC attendee has been quarantined after testing positive for the virus, and at least 4 Republican members of Congress who attended CPAC are in self-quarantine today after interacting with that attendee.
Are they doing the right thing?
I think they are doing the right thing. At the same time, are they going to do it for full 14 days? Or, because the handshake that they had was about 10 or 11 days ago. I'm not sure. The other question is, there's a big open gap question. Is the quarantine of 14 days long enough? Currently, we're not sure about that. But I'm glad the leaders are showing leadership and telling people, please get quarantined, protect yourself and your family and community around you.
Be calm. It's really working out. It will go away. Just stay calm.
I just listened to President Donald Trump, and he said that so far coronavirus is not as deadly as the flu, and he's given us some numbers. Is he being the leader that we need?
He is not saying the truth when he said it's not any worse than the flu. The flu has on average 0.1%, 0.1% mortality. This virus has anywhere from 1 to 3%. WHO had said 3.4%. In Lombardy, Italy right now, at the epicenter, they have 8% mortality. Wuhan had about 3 or 4%. This is showing you this is way worse than the flu. No one has immunity. We do not have a vaccine, which is not true of the flu, and it's more infectious than the flu. And finally, it spreads asymptomatically, even before you have symptoms, which is not true of the flu either. So this is why it spreads more quickly and has a higher mortality. So to say that it's just corona flu is disingenuous to public health and endangering public health.
I'm washing my hands more than ever. People are doing exactly the same thing. But sometimes, doctor, I feel that it's simply not enough. Should I just wash my hands more and that's it?
I think you should, A, wash your hands more in between your fingers, but also avoid touching certain things like bathroom doors or any doors for that matter. Please use a handkerchief or paper towel to open doors because you never know who touched it. Elevator buttons, be careful about that. It's just you have to have a newfound sense of awareness of things that you touch that other people may have touched and may have infected. And even at dinner tables, you have to be careful. You know, saliva is constantly spraying from people's mouths, and you have to protect yourself from that as well.
I just read a government study saying that we touch our faces 19 times every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Can we change that?
I don't know. Sometimes face masks, actually, their main goal is to make you stop touching your nose and your mouth. Face masks are actually not that effective in preventing you from getting it, but it prevents you from spraying saliva and protects you from touching your face. I think these are just beginning precautions. The main thing to containment, until we have countermeasures, a vaccine, or a really effective antiviral drug, is social distancing. Canceling potentially political rallies, canceling sports games, parades, and any other major venues. And this is why a lot of companies are ordering their workers to work from home. But these containment, social distancing, is our current major countermeasure against this epidemic.
Let me finish with some positive news. I see what's happening in China. It seems that the number of cases is not growing as fast as it used to. Is that what's going to happen worldwide?
Well, I think China did some pretty severe containment. It's not just Wuhan.